Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, we all know that corruption is the biggest burden that the Nigerian state carries, and we all know the consequences of that corruption. So one of those consequences is now coming home to roost. As guys, I bring you this. Nigeria's foreign affairs minister Onyema makes U-turn, says country can't evacuate all citizens back home. So we're talking about Nigerians stuck all over the world, in countries all over the world, that are seeking to come back to their own home state. This is the reference of this story. As I bring you the headline again, Nigeria's foreign minister Onyema makes U-turn, says country can't evacuate all citizens back home. So now let's get into exactly what is being said here. Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Govt Onyema, has said that the country does not have the capacity or resources to evacuate all Nigerians abroad willing to return home at this time of C-19 outbreak across the world. Onyema's position is in contrast with the directive issued by the ministry on April the 2nd, 2020, asking all missions abroad to compile a list of Nigerians willing to come back home. Chairman Nigerians in Diaspora Commission Abike Dabiri Arewa had also said the ministry would leave no stone unturned in ensuring that all Nigerians willing to return home were evacuated. Speaking on a program on Channels Television on Tuesday, Onyema said, "It is not as simple as people think. We just don't have the capacity and resources to absorb all of them immediately, so we would have to probably do it in stages. Some people are of the opinion that tests should be carried out before they leave. We know in some countries it is difficult to get testing done, but hopefully we would be in a position to start sending out planes in a matter of days. It is not as simple as people think it is. We have to make provisions for isolation centers for them in Nigeria here, where they would be isolated for 14 days. So now this is now the Nigerian government now saying that, you are on your own, or OYO, or you, as they say in Lagos, you are on your own, effectively, to the Nigerians now stuck abroad. But then, of course, the Nigerian state should be able to make provisions for their citizens, because it shouldn't really be that much of a task to send out plane or even commission planes to bring these people back home. And you're saying you don't have isolation centers. What do you mean you don't have isolations? Of course you must have isolation centers. You bring these people home and you identify a central location to isolate them in. There are countless spaces within the Nigerian space that you can isolate people in for 14 days. All you need then to do is to feed them and just to monitor them. You are saying you have all this capacity. So where's that capacity now coming into play? But then, of course, all the capacity that they tell us that they have is, of course, a lie, because nobody lies better than a Nigerian or more than a Nigerian. You can't really say somebody lies better, because better is a positive word and lie is a negative word. But nobody lies more than a Nigerian. But and especially the Nigerian governance, not just these people, this Madam Buhari regime, by the way. You only have to go and listen to anything said by Lai Mohammed to already tell you that they're in a special league of their own. But really, it just rankles a little bit that you don't have the resources to evacuate your own citizens from foreign climes. So then what happens to them? Who takes responsibility for them where they are there? Are you then asking their host country to take responsibility for your own citizens because you don't have the resources to take responsibility for your own citizens? It's just crass and crude nonsense. But then, of course, they don't have the capacity or resources, because the monies that they should have been using to provide these capacities and resources, of course, they are being shipped out to Dubai to buy estates and whatever it is that they do. So they've purloined all of the money. Now that the chicken has come home to roost, what is the narrative? We don't have capacity, and woe betide you. They just caught them adrift to float, and you sink or swim is really what they are saying to these people. You are on your own. OYO or your conversations in the comment section. The Nigerian government doesn't have the capacity and the resources to take care of its own people, but that is not really news. When have they ever had the capacity? But the capacity and the resources, by the way, the Nigerian state has it, the Nigerian entity has it, but the Nigerian government does not have it. So what has happened to that resources from the Nigerian state having it to the Nigerian government not having it? The chasm between that, the gulf between that, those two set positions is corruption. So the Nigerian state has these resources from their earnings from oil, but the Nigerian government does not have the resources from their looting and corruption. So they're stealing all the money is effectively what this guy is saying to you. What says you? Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you are making of this nonsensity of this guy saying that the Nigerian government does not have the resources to evacuate its own citizens from foreign climes in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace.